Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to be here in person today. I've been worshiping remotely a lot this summer. It's great to be here in person. My name is Rena Ceron. I'm here on behalf of my involvement with the Organ Restoration Committee. I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about myself as well. I've been attending the temple since 2012. The music programs, the choir, and the glorious organ are the things that brought me to the temple. I've been singing with the choir since 2012, and I joined the church several years after that, so I am now a member. You've received information about our organ restoration program, and you've heard from at least one of our fellow committee members and some friends of the temple. We need your help restoring this important instrument, since less than 60% of the organ, less than that, is fully functional. The deterioration will continue as time goes on. I'm here to share with you why this instrument is important to me and why I'm part of the Organ Restoration Committee. Music has always been a part of my life, and that's something I was exposed to thanks to the church at a very young age. I grew up in the United Methodist Church in a very small town in Michigan, and some of my fondest memories and my youngest memories of being at church were singing starting around 3 or 4 years old. And, you know, I had a lot of family members involved in the church, and my mom and her best friend were the youth choir directors, so that's how I got involved as well. It was a lot of fun. I continued that through my childhood, participated in some musicals, and I even had to do a few solos when I was really, really little. In college, I attended church regularly on campus, and it was a non-denominational church, so I was part of a praise team. After college, I moved to New York City and decided that I knew that the United Methodist Church was a great spiritual place for me. Ideally, I was looking for organ music and traditional hymns. I really missed that when I was in college because, you know, a praise team is different. It was great and I loved it, but I really missed that organ and the hymns. I found a great church in New York. I ended up getting married there. It was vibrant, diverse. And then when I found out we were moving to Chicago, some of my friends from my church in New York recommended the temple because they had been members here years ago, and we actually know some people in common. So that was really cool. They knew it was a similar feel, and they knew that I would feel at home at the temple, and they were right. The first time I visited the temple with my husband, it was September 11th, and Eric Nussbaum, our music director, had written a special piece, and it was premiered that day. Everyone gathered outside in Daly Plaza to remember the victims, and we knew immediately that the temple was a place for us. I was very moved by that day. I also wanted to mention my husband is Catholic, and so from time to time, you know, we take turns going to churches. We don't really have, you know, after 20 years, I thought we'd have a system down by now, but it's difficult, but we go to 2 churches. And so when you don't see me here, a lot of times I'll be at a Catholic church on the north side. I've really appreciated what I've learned about our overlapping faiths, and it's been a great journey, and we both feel welcome at both churches, which is great. But one thing that's made a lasting impression on me is that out of all the Catholic churches we've attended on the north side over the years, because there are several, that they do not use the organs there. And so I think until I joined this committee, I didn't really understand why. I'm assuming that it's because of the maintenance, and it's a very costly endeavor, and you know there are a lot of Catholic churches. Our initial church closed, unfortunately, so we had to move to a different one. But even at that church, which has a bigger congregation, I don't think I've ever heard the organ played there. So you know, I see the pipes. I know they have an organ. They don't use it. Piano is lovely. We'll hear piano today. I love piano music, but it is great to have an instrument that's been here for a century almost. We really need to use it. We need to keep it moving here. So our beautiful Opus 414 has been making music for almost a century, and we want it to continue to be part of our community's faith journey while also reaching beyond our church doors. Our very talented organist, Philip, who isn't here today, he's been able to work through it, and so I think you've heard this mentioned by another committee member, that you may not even know that there are issues with the organ, because Philip is so great. But the longer that this goes on, the more that all of us will be able to notice it, And the things that you'll hear are like sticking keys and ciphers and weird noises. Sometimes it delays the service, sometimes it delays the anthem. For singers like me, you hear the wrong note and then you can't get back on track. So anyway, simple things like that will be happening more and more. And we are very fortunate, though, to have received an inspirational, generous pledge by a long-term member that got us started. We have received several significant pledges, but we do need more to reach our fundraising goal. It is a large amount. It is $3 million. But one thing to keep in mind is that part of this goal is to have an endowment for ongoing maintenance. So it's not just to fix the problems, but to have a plan long-term so that this organ can continue another century, hopefully, and beyond. So our Opus 414 organ has great potential. So it's not only for our faith community at the temple, but it should go on beyond these doors, out into the heart of the city, connecting all of us through music. Thank you.